Hello guys, Conan here, and welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the very famous The Last of Us Part 2. Well, before I start talking about the game itself, I'd like to say that I was really a huge fan of Naughty Dog. I've played almost every single Naughty Dog titles on PS3, PS4, and even PSP. So I have to admit that I was so confused when I first read the reviews from in Japan, who literally gives a review score of 7 to Naughty Dog's latest title. Ever since Crash Bandicoot from 1996, and then Uncharted Drake's Fortune in 2007, Naughty Dog has provided us with one of the best gaming experiences that we could ever imagine in the industry. And with no surprise, this company has become one of the only few gaming companies which has earned themselves millions and millions of dollars, as well as great reputation among gamers. Sorry EA. And back in 2013, a brand new title has been released, The Last of Us. Although the title did share several similarities with her elder brother, Uncharted. However, the core attraction points of Uncharted, I mean those splendid natural scenery, unbelievable design of architectures, the pursuit of freedom while pushing ourselves on the way to adventure, those, unfortunately, will never be discovered in The Last of Us. You'll only find yourself wandering in the broken alley, or inside those abandoned houses. The weather isn't always that bad, but you just don't have the luxury to stand still and take a rest. Runners behind, enemies ahead. The annoying sound from clickers seems always by your side. As always, Naughty Dog has created one amazing title to all our gamers. People find themselves not only playing a video game, but more likely, watching an Oscar-winning movie with the controller on their hands. No matter how dark and cruel the atmosphere was, after a few hours of gameplay, we, gamers, have created such connections with Joel and Ellie. We shared their calmness when taking a deep breath in the paradise. Feel the anger and decisiveness when we have no choice but to kill all the people up ahead. We were forced to watch our beloved lost her last breath, and also suffered from the death of our trusted partner. We might also share the excitement when we have a chance to save the world on our own hands, just by bringing the girl to the Firefly Hospital. Well, hell no, who give a damn fuck about saving the world? I, Joel Miller, gonna take Ellie back home. Step away, before I shoot you in your dick. This is the story of The Last of Us in 2013. The game might seem to be a little bit dull on the outside, but all those emotions, the sadness, the sorrow, the passionate, and the love are all well hidden beneath it. Just like a very well-made lava chocolate cake. Unfortunately, after finishing playing The Last of Us 2, I realized that this time, Naughty Dog has decided to make another lava chocolate cake, but with shit filling inside. So nasty. Well, before any of those Naughty Dog fanboys click dislike button under my video, allow me to talk about the pros of this game. In this case, those are the very tasty bread on the outside. Starting by taking about the graphics improvement in The Last of Us Part 2. If you are those kinds of gamers who concerns nothing but only graphics performance, then I can guarantee you fell in love with this game. Although this is not the first time Naughty Dog created the top-notch graphics performance, but those characters' facial details will definitely surprise you, entertain you, and sometimes shock you, because how realistic they are. Besides the details of the characters, the vividness and colorful of the environment is also something worth to be mentioned. While you transpassing the dark alley covered with green ivy, enjoying the broken but yet lovely town while riding a horse, and finally encounter a very detailed scenery with snow all over the ground, you might have noticed that you are playing a game with one of the best graphics performance in this PS4 era. And you are fighting some enemies as Ellie, you will soon notice the improvement, or I should say differences compared to the original title. The little Ellie we used to familiar with is gone. For now, you are controlling a badass hunter who can not only stealth kill, but also shoot, to dodge, to fight, to stab a dagger into someone's throat. I'm not so sure if this is what Joel wants Ellie to be, but wow, I have to say this is amazing. And for sure, Abby, Another main character we can control in this game is as powerful as Ellie. So even though you might feel unhappy about controlling Abby in the second half of the game, but hey, at least you don't have to worry about dying a lot. Unless you did it on purpose. Which I've done several times. But overall, the game is still quite hard if you play without cautious. We got some new enemies here, and some new type of infected there, and I never find myself enough bullets or resources in my backpack, which is kind of annoying. So, what I suggest is to place some thick soft carpet in front of you while playing, so your controller will stay alive after you throw it on the ground. And make sure you Google the exact person who is in charge of this whole kind of stuff, so you won't curse the wrong person at least. And finally, we have to talk about the thing Naughty Dog's really good at. No one but Naughty Dog can create such an immersive gaming experience. Although there are quite a few things I think worth to be changed, which I'll discuss about them later. But overall, The Last of Us Part 2 still brings gamers the very same immersive experience like his elder brother. Making colorblind mode and other accessibility function as optional selection under the menu is such a huge deal. Although I did not try them myself, but I did heard about other gamers find them kinda useful. So, shout out to Naughty Dog, that's a good one. Alright, after all these pros of The Last of Us Part 2, why did I, or a whole lot of other gamers dislike this game? And here is why. This game told us an awkward story based on an illogical storyline, and with meaningless death of our beloved character. Despite the amazing graphic performance and the enjoyable combat system, storytelling is no doubt the key of success, particularly when we talk about a game like this. When we talk about the original title in 2013, the whole story there was about family, about love. We all knew at the very beginning about how Joel cares about her daughter. So, the contrast characteristic of Joel, being a cruel smuggler later in the game, makes so much sense. Why? Because with the correct storyline, we'll just understand what has happened, so they can feel the sadness deep down inside Joel's heart. And as the storyline goes on, Joel and Ellie encountered a bunch of circumstances and coincidence indicating responsibility, friendship, brotherhood, betrayal, etc. With a very smooth and steady slope of storyline, we felt no surprise that Joel slightly defrosts his emotion. That makes another not surprisingly but satisfying contrast at the end of the game. Now, what has Naughty Dog done this time? Briefly speaking, they just abandoned almost everything they've done right regarding storytelling. This game starts with the meaningless death of Joel. The point is, when this happened, neither Joel nor I have enough idea who that muscular character is. What the fuck? Can you imagine Captain America or Iron Man got killed at the very beginning of the movie Avengers Endgame? I mean earlier before they made the reunion. Alright, then we realize her name is Abby. She was the daughter of the doctor Joel has killed back in the Firefly Hospital. Okay, that makes a little sense. Seems like revenge is the core idea of this game. Then, as I expected, I've started to play as Ellie, killing everyone on my way for the revenge. But all of a sudden, everything has been changed. I started to play as Thanos. I mean, Abby. Why? I've spent 10 hours at least playing as Ellie, seeking for the revenge for Joel. And now Naughty Dog asked me to forget about Ellie and Joel, and take a deep look into our target, Abby. I have to say though, Naughty Dog has done a little trick on this new main character. She is smart, she is strong, she can fight. She cares about her beloved, and guess what? She also has a little partner traveling with her later in the story. Sounds familiar? Yeah, you guys know the answer. And I'm pretty sure Naughty Dog did this on purpose. Whatever gamers love about Joel, they will provide almost the same charisma on Abby. Therefore, gamers might not be mad about Abby, and even consider killing Joel as something understandable. Then finally, gamers will potentially, according to my guess of what Naughty Dog thinks, enjoy the contrast of Ellie's decision of sparing Abby from choking her underwater. Well, this might sound kind of nice contrast, from revenge to relief. But hell no. Because we all know, that if Ellie was the one got brutally tortured and killed in front of Joel, This old man will dismantle every living creature in the new Firefly base, including Abby. In my opinion, what happened within the storyline are just not strong enough to change Ellie's mind. This whole story, starting with the meaningless death of Joel and the revenge of Ellie, preceding the story by digging into who is Abby, how is Abby, then ends up with an illogical tragic ending. Naughty Dog has tried too hard to complete the final contrast, which in my opinion, failed miserably and makes zero sense at all. I have no idea why they've done this. Maybe this is the way how employers in Naughty Dog protest against that infamous crunch condition? Or maybe, this is all about the vice president of Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann. Now, I'm gonna talk about something sensitive, which might cause my video or channel got banned on YouTube. It's about Neil Druckmann. Gamers who have played Naughty Dog's recent project probably will find themselves familiar with this name. Before Mr. Druckmann take over the Last of Us 2 project, he took parts in the design and creation of several recent games and DLC, including The Last of Us in 2013, and the DLC for both The Last of Us 1 and Uncharted 4. After we played through Mr. Druckmann's project, one similarity becomes obvious. That is feminism and homosexual. Which is not surprise, because Mr. Druckmann did stand for feminism in several events. And there is also an unconfirmed rumor, saying that another well-known feminist media critic Anita Sarkeesian has great impact on this game as well. We'll further discuss about Anita Sarkeesian's impact on gaming industry in another video, but let's get back to Mr. Druckmann. I sincerely appreciate the fact that Mr. Druckmann speak out for feminism, which is really nice. But he seems to be overly sensitive in many cases. In this example, Mr. Druckmann updated his Instagram story, quoted Kurt Cobain from Nirvana and said, "At this point I have a request for our fans. If any of you in any way hate homosexuals, people of a different color, or women, please do this one favor for us: leave us the fuck alone. Don't come to our shows, and don't buy our records." This kind of presentation is definitely worthy of encouragement and praise. But the act that Mr. Druckmann used this quotation to defend The Last of Us 2 is illogical and irrational, which, just like the game itself, he tried to mislead public opinion by twisting the fact that rage and critics from most of gamers are because of the horrible storytelling in the game, not because there are female nor homosexual characters in this game. For anyone who bought The Last of Us Part 2, I'm pretty sure they have already played through or heard about the DLC called Left Behind of the previous title. There is very straightforward scene that shows us Ellie's sexual orientation, as the kiss scene between Ellie and Riley are highly praised by quite a lot gamers, saying that could be the best part of the DLC. There is no evidence of Mr. Druckmann has flushed this old memory into toilet, so he shall fully understand the true reason why most of the gamers hate this game. But did he realize what he had done wrong? No. Since Mr. Druckmann has continuously gained power and finally been promoted as vice president in Naughty Dog, there are rumors saying that almost 70% of experienced employee has left the company due to various reasons. According to the scenery in The Last of Us Part 2, which is considered Mr. Druckmann's very first fully in charge AAA title, we could have a guess about the reason. The act of killing Joel and spitting on his corpse is probably Mr. Druckmann's attitude, or I should say revenge to those former employees of Naughty Dog, including his leader, colleague, and anyone who created not so politically correct games. And the one who spit on Joel's body, Manny, whose appearance is closely resembling Mr. Druckmann. Although he made a weak denial on Twitter by saying he is not quite as handsome as Manny. And that comes to our conclusion of The Last of Us Part 2. A well-made, and potentially could be the best all-around game in 2020, and this is why over 3.5 million PSN account has logged in this game, which should make this game as the perfect farewell present to our beloved PlayStation 4. However, you'll find out the elegant lava chocolate cake is actually filled with shit, those meaningless and illogical story in the game, and those even more meaningless and illogical stories outside of the game have come together ruined our beloved title, as well as the perfect reputation of Naughty Dog among our gamers. Bullshit.